Well, let's start off here, Shasky. So we talked ad nauseum about Draymond Green, and he's going to be gone for the next 5 games, but I'm looking for silver linings. The silver lining is the youngsters are going to play. The youngsters are going to play. And that's a good thing. But Steph Curry before the season, and Big John, if you could pull this up, Steph Curry said this about this season, about what everyone needed to do. Let me know when you get it, Big John. It's AO65 when you get a chance.
Yeah, because I had a question to you and the audience. You have to choose one. Is Draymond currently and moving forward an asset or a liability?
Sorry, Big John. Is he an asset or what?
Draymond Green. Not what he used to be. I'm talking about what he is for this team and what they want to do this year. Is he an asset or a liability? You have to choose one. What do you think people are going to side with? Because I think for many, many, many years, it was he's an asset and the things that could make him a liability are outproduced by all the good stuff he brings to the floor and all of the tangible and intangible qualities that help this team win in the margins and on the floor. And then when you're missing games, and again, we've kind of broken it down, he's affected 7 games now.
He's still one of the smarter defensive players in this league. But this past weekend, he was a liability.
And then what about his non-availability?
When he plays, he's an asset, a big-time asset. He's a baller. He's in your finishing 5 lineup. He's pushing the rock. He's actually being more aggressive offensively. Now, you could say 10 points is just 10 points, but for Draymond, that's everything. When he scores in double digits, the Warriors are winning 70% of the time over the course of his career. But right now, when you're doing what you're doing, that is a liability to this team. And right now, it's a liability because you're going to miss the next 5 games.
And they can ill afford it.
They need him. They need him in the worst way. So, at the moment, he's a liability. When he's on the court, he's an asset. But he hasn't stayed on the court. And that's the biggest problem here. It's the biggest problem is he can't stay on the court. So, David Frizzon wants to chime in. How it impacts Steph Curry?
Let's go.
It's a great question. Because I don't know. What do you think? Liability?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, I've long thought that he's been a liability to a degree, but a lot of the good has been outweighed by it. And this is what drives me mad about the guy. Everyone thinks that I hate him. No, I love Draymond and all the great qualities. I don't love the other things that go over the top that people file under winner guy stuff, and I file differently under uncontrolled rage. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, there's a separation. To most people, there's not. It's the complete package, and that's all that you get. It's like, no, I can accept some of the stuff, but you go over the line consistently, and I expect you to evolve and mature over time. We're asking Klay Thompson currently to evolve his basketball game. Are we not?
Yeah, we are, but it's not.
No, but I'm just saying we are. We're asking him. We're asking Steph Curry as he ages to evolve his game. But yet, we have zero tolerance. We have zero energy put into Draymond evolving his emotions slightly.
Well,
so that he doesn't become a liability. Like, what?
Well, here's where Draymond was a really good asset when it came to guarding the bigs: Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, the Giannis's, the Embiids. He could go out there on the perimeter and guard the Kawhis at times. He guarded Paul George's. Last year in the playoffs in Game 4, in the pivotal game, in that fourth quarter, he took the assignment of trying to guard De'Aaron Fox. And that's no easy That's no easy task. And at times he got cooked, and at times it's like, damn, look at Day-Day defend. Look at Day-Day disrupt everything. Is he still that same defender? Because if he's not that same defender now, remember, he made All-NBA defensive team last year. And I thought Draymond Green played some excellent basketball. But if he's not that guy, then of course he's a liability all across the board. But when he's on the floor, and when the Warriors were humming earlier this season, starting off 6-2, and I know he missed 3 of the games, he was an asset. He was an asset.
I think also, if we're going to say, a liability, asset, offensively, for long stretches, when he doesn't want to shoot at all, he's a major liability. And it's not just because of him. It's because of the lineups that he occupies with other people who can't shoot, and that makes things congested for Steph Curry.
Yep, and Klay Thompson.
And Klay Thompson. Yes.
Steph Curry at least can create something for himself.
Yes.
Klay's the one who suffers the most when the court is congested, I should say. When the court is congested, it kills Clay and it kills Wiggins. When you got spacing, you know what? Clay's a lot better. So that's why I wouldn't have a problem with Clay going to the bench, only because he would get a lot of spacing with that unit with Sarge and CP3. But when you play the two big lineup with Looney and Draymond, where's the spacing coming from? And that kills Clay more so than Stephen Curry. Now, Dave in Fresno has been waiting on hold for a while. How does this impact Steph Curry, this Draymond Green suspension, Dave?
Yeah, honestly, I just feel like in light of all this, is not being talked about enough. Is we about to waste these last few prime years of Steph Curry. He's still playing at elite level, and my respect for him has gone way up because he's not like these other All-Stars when stuff gets a little dicey or tricky, who requests a trade or demands somebody to be brought in. He just plays the game. He lets the team, the organization, take care of the roster. But, we talk about a role player being suspended. I know Draymond, he has the cachet and the clout and all that, but, he's not an all-star at this point. And Steph, in this day and age, Steph is the only, superstar. Think about
Totally
it.
Agree.
A contender that doesn't have a co-star all-star. Like Jokic got his player, LeBron got AD, Giannis got Dame. Everybody got they Robin. Right now, I know they want to do the bad boys for life and ride it out to the end, but currently as constructed, what are we talking about?
That's
He's suspended 5 games. We're not a championship team anyway, with Dre or without Dre. And to me, honestly, I've been feeling like this for a couple of years now. I honestly don't think Dre feels basketball like that anymore. I just feel like he's more into being on TNT, the podcast. I just don't see the passion for the game to be so quick to want to just get thrown out just because. Bro, you 33 years old. Stop making an excuse for this guy. And he's living off the success, in my opinion, of the Warriors and Steph Curry, because he always writes checks. Look at the series against the Grizz when he was talking all that mess on his podcast that Steph had to go cash. You ain't about to drop 40. Steph's got to do that. So I think, we've been putting up with this childish behavior for far too long, and I'm sick of it, to tell you the truth, because it's not getting us nowhere. All it is stuff to talk about.
Well, let's be fair. Well, let's be fair, Dave. We haven't seen a podcast drop in a long time. We haven't seen him on TNT in a long time. So that part, I have a hard time, because especially after watching him warm up the other night, Draymond was getting after it. It's a little reckless to say that he doesn't care anymore about the game of basketball. That's silly stuff right there. That's where I draw the line. The guy cares. The guy wants to win. The guy, I saw him immediately. I got to get this ring. I got to get this ring is what he told. We got to get this one for the thumb. So don't give me that. Maybe Draymond cares too much. If he didn't care, he wouldn't have came at Rudy Gobert. He would just let Rudy Gobert do what he does. That's reckless. Now, is he making smart decisions in the heat of the battle? No, he's not. He's not. But don't miss me with the he doesn't care about the game anymore. I'm not buying that.
No, I would say that he's wrong on that part, but he hasn't added an element of offense to his game that is necessary to stay in the league at this age and be productive. Commiserate to his pay scale. Like when you look at someone like PJ Tucker, right, or Bruce Bowen, as they aged, they created that corner three shot. Yep. They added that element to their game.
Well, you see him hit the corner three this year. He had a catch and shoot in Oklahoma City. I was like, damn, let's do it more. It's just like Looney the other night. He shot a baseline jumper and hit it. Point. And I was just like, how about you guys just shoot that more? Do they have the autonomy to shoot it more? Do they have the green light to shoot it more? Because all of a sudden, if they're making that shot, it opens everything up. Just by Draymond making those early threes earlier in the season. It opened up the offense.
I know.
Because they had to honor Draymond Green.
How many does he average per game this year? Because we're all talking like, oh, my God, he's so much better. He is better offensively. He's taking 2 shots a game from three-point land.
Right.
So if he can, get to 3, right, and where it's a decent percentage.
I don't mind 6. Well, 5 to 6 because he's getting those
baby steps.
But they're wide open.
But this is where I say to people like, when you listen to Don Nelson and guys that really understand spacing in the offensive floor, a shot created is a shot that must be taken. Otherwise, your team will settle for a worse shot later in the shot clock under duress. And so when he passes up that mid-range shot, when he passes up that top of the 3 key, it only makes it more difficult. And then the ball goes to someone like Klay Thompson, who's forced to take a fadeaway catch and shoot three with 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yep.
How many times do you watch a Warrior possession and go, guys, someone's got to take a shot here?
Yeah, no doubt. And then Klay takes it, and then we get mad at Klay Thompson and say, oh, he's chucking, he's forcing it.
Which the cause and effect is.
He shouldn't have the ball in his hands at that point. That's not the player he is. All right, Steph Curry, on what everyone needs to do this season. Go ahead, roll it, John.
It's exciting for everybody to get a fresh start, knowing where we're trying to go. We're trying to win a championship. So we need every single person that's going to rock our uniform this year to be their best self, Andrew included.
All right, that was before the season. Here's Steve Kerr, who joined the Morning Roast back on September 29th. Steve Kerr joined the Morning Roast on September 29th, and he was discussing, because remember Draymond Green said before, this is the most important season of my career. Most important season of my career. So why is it the most important season of your career?
Well, I like hearing that because, Draymond has accomplished so much and, he's heading for the Hall of Fame. He just signed a 4-year extension, so he's got a lot ahead of him. And I'm thrilled that he's excited and motivated for the season. Every season is the most important one of your career. That's how I look at it. So when you're motivated like Draymond is, you can't wait to get to camp and get to work.
So I thought he got off to a stellar start this year, Draymond Green. But it's now getting rocky because of 3 of the last 4 games of what's transpired here for the Golden State Warriors. Really 2 of the last 3, I should say. And now he's going to miss the next 5. So how do the Warriors navigate the next 5? That's what I want to know. How do the Warriors navigate the next 5 without Draymond Green? And we don't know if Steph Curry's going to come back this weekend. We don't know if he's going to be back on Monday, if he comes back Wednesday against Phoenix. We just have no idea. He's day-to-day right now. You're
identifying the 2 young players, Moody and Kuminga, to step forward. I'm going to go with the 2 older guys that need to really, get this team going in the right direction because people will gravitate toward their leadership. Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson. I'm looking at those 2 alongside Chris Paul to take a prominent role over the next 2, as Steph Curry's out, because I'm assuming 2 that he's out, to just get going. Like, get themselves rocking and rolling here. And I think if those guys start to drop some shots in, I think a lot of other stuff is going to solidify itself.
Well, I think these next 5 games, Mike Dunleavy's going to get a read. By the way, Dunleavy's going to join us on NBC Sports later on today. Warriors pregame.
Tell him I said hi.
6:30. Yeah, I will. I don't even know does he even know who you are?
Nah. I was working out alongside of him at an undisclosed location and gave him the unofficial head nod, and I looked and went, he has no idea who I am.
Yeah, did he give you a head nod back?
He probably was like, oh, weirdo.
Yeah. Just the fact that you were working out next to him to try to get over there. It's like
well, he was doing those things.
People gravitate to you. You're in the weight room. And you see a guy, you're like, oh, please don't come over here. Please don't come over here. Please don't come over here. They just find their way in that area.
I'm in my own zone.
And you're like, okay, I know what they're doing here. It's like, I'm not going to lie. I was single, and there's a treadmill open, and there's 2 baddies at a treadmill. There's one open between.
Was this that one time you worked out?
Yeah, exactly. And I got on that treadmill.
The pre-soda days.
And guess what? I was running on that treadmill in between the baddies. That's how I was operating. So I know what you were thinking. Oh, that's
pull the valve.
Incline at 10.
Hello,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, who was running faster? You or them?
Well,
my favorite is, I don't know if you've ever seen this. Them. It's all over the internet, but there's a guy who was on the treadmill and he had his golf bag and he was practicing walking with his golf bag at a slow pace. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
No doubt. I mean,
I usually have my headphones in when I'm working out because I don't want people to talk to me.
They do anyway. That's what happens at the gym.
That's when I do that. Yo, what's up? Like off the glass because you see them off the mirror.
Right.
Like, what's up?
You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys go to the gym, you see some open things, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go work out over here just to show it off and just be around it. Hopefully, I get some eye contact.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. You do it to Mike Dunleavy at the undisclosed location.
I'm in my own world.
Man, that's
just talking to my watch.
You know the Shasky side eye.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Oh, what's up, Mike? Shasky never touched that weight in his life. He's going to work. So I was like,
hey, bro, I've been hitting the weights the last year and a half.
Oh, man.
I've got some definition on these little twigs.
Let's
shout out my man Gabe Gioso, who was teaching me certain routines to build up the chest.
There you go. Get strong on the basketball court.
Baseball, softball.
A little more power. More power in a diamond.
Oh, dude, your boy is just the knee has just been shredded. Ugh. It's not good.
So now we got the knee.
Oh, dude, the knee is chronic.
So no knockout tournament?
Oh, no, I'll be ready for the knockout.
When is it? Yeah, when is the knockout? So I don't even know
November
the date.
28th, I believe, is the target date.
Is that a Monday?
Tuesday.
A Tuesday. Warriors have a game that day? They do.
I think, yeah, but they're on the road, which obviously doesn't impact our schedule, but it does yours.
Maybe I may have to bow. That's nap time. Is knockout work?
Well, you got to host the knockout pregame show, right?
No, do I? I may just call in sick that day. It's just then you may see me on TV. Had a magical recovery.
So timeout. So this guy chastised me for 2 weeks about not being able to, as I joked around about not being ready.
I've got a job to do. Huh? I've got to do work. I got to take a nap. I got to do my pregame prep. I got to watch whoever the Warriors are playing. I like to watch them over when I'm prepping and put it up there. I got a legit excuse.
Well, what you do is you play the knockout tournament, just get out right away.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Then you can go about the rest of your day. So that way you can have, best of both worlds. Have your cake and eat it too. Soda-approved cake.
Technically, I don't have to do the soda no more, even though I'm still doing it. I could have like Philly cheesesteaks and, ribs and big steaks, big breakfasts. I can do all that now.
Meal fit for a king.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Loveman, you're on fire.
I'm glad you said it.
It's the Sharks jersey.
I need to see Wiggins and I need to see Klay Thompson just knock down some shots. I know we keep looking at the young guys. The young guys are not going to save this season. They can be a supplemental help to the season. They need some of the veteran guys to play better and alongside the young players playing up to what maybe their potential could be for this year, not big picture. They need the guys making the big bread to step up. They need Kevon Looney to play better. Like, quietly, Kevon Looney has been very disappointing, and I love Kevon Looney. We all love Kevon Looney. His hands have been poor. His finishing around the rim has been very bad this year. Defensively, he's had a tough time. He's been in foul trouble. Securing rebounds has been an issue. We still love him, but, we need a better version of Kevon Looney. I don't think he's played his best basketball, and that's not some slander. It's just we need him to be better.
He's rebounded well, but he can definitely finish better around the rim. Let's go to Mike and Moran. Mike, what's happening?